It's been staged to some of the biggest stars of the European and Asian tours. And this week, players from both battlegrounds will metal it out for one of Asia's most loved golfing trophies. The UBS Hong Kong Open hits Fan Ling Golf Club in Hong Kong this week, and as club captain William Stone explained, it's no ordinary challenge presented to some of the world's best players.
The event is played over a course called the Composite Course, which is an amalgamation of our Eden course and our new course. I think the way it's structured now, there are 10 holes of the Eden and 8 holes of the new. It provides a fine test. It is a par 70, and I think last year Miguel Angel Jimenez won with 12 under.
Testament to the quality of the layout at the Hong Kong Golf Club is the history of the club as the only host to the Hong Kong Open since its inception in 1959. And while it will soon entertain some of Asia's biggest crowds, the European Tour Director of Operations, David Garland, was on course weeks before the event to give it the once-over.
Yeah, I was travelled around with Howard Palms, the general manager, and he was just showing me how the preparations were coming on for the Open. They seem very much on track. The golf course is in very good conditioning, and I know that we've got a couple of visitations from some of my colleagues who will be working the event in the next couple of weeks, and today was just really a cursory visit, which was very pleasant.
And consistent with the course's lengthy history is a challenge that promotes accurate shot making. Or as the pros would say, you'll need the ability to hit the ball pin high.
It's a traditional golf club, as I said, golf course where it's shot making. You can't overpower this. It's not all about length. You've got to keep the ball straight. You've got to hit the small greens. And I know the players love this type of golf course.
3 18-hole layouts make the Hong Kong Golf Club a true premier resort. And for our tour, we begin at the Eden's 7th hole. With the composite tournament design, it serves as the third challenge come the UBS Hong Kong Open.
One of the most scenic and also one of the most challenging for the drive is the 3rd hole of the composite, which is the 7th hole of the Eden. A new tee was built 2 years ago, which took the hole back another 20 yards. So you stand up very high and you look down to the hole spread out right in front of you. You drive down about 260, 270 to a saddle, and from there most of the long hitters take an iron to the green. But there's water on the left, and to the right of the saddle there's a large bunker and also a big tree in front of the bunker. In fact, when Tom Watson won the Open a few years ago, he went off that tee with a 2-iron to the right, played an approach to within 50 yards of the green, pitched on, and I think he made birdie, on 2 out of the 4 days, playing it very conservatively. It's a hole which you can go for, but it has the usual risk-reward ratio, and if you go for it and make it, you'll get the birdie, but my goodness, you can come unstuck, which is why Watson played it conservatively and did very well.
And adding to the challenge at this year's event is a couple of course changes that weren't always intended.
Well, we had a bit of green damage last year, which we were upset about, but it was unavoidable. And we've made great efforts to redo the greens, and one of the greens we had to rebuild completely, which is the 12th. And we've redone that with grass called Tiff Eagle, and that's a wonderful surface now. Undulating green, quite quick, and with wind swirling around above it, no pushover. So I think that will be a good vantage point for spectators, and it'll be an interesting hole.
The final challenge for the pros is perhaps the most famous test of the 18 holes used for the tournament.
Well, if there is a signature hole on a composite course, which is of course an amalgam of the 2 courses, I think it would be the 18th of the Eden, which is a magnificent par 4, frequently played against the wind, which adds to its difficulty. I think the biggest challenge of the hole is not overcooking the drive. I was standing on the left one year when I got actually hit under the ribs by a drive from Sam Torrance, which bounced back into play and enabled him to go on to finish 5th or something. I had a big bruise and he had a lot of money. But the biggest challenge is to keep the drive in the middle, to give themselves, depending on the wind, 6, 7, 8 iron into the green. And also if you drive too far down the slope, then you've got a hanging lie, which makes it difficult. Most of the professionals, particularly those who are in contention, take a 3-wood to the top of the quite a steep slope, and then on top of that slope you see the green set out in front of you, in front of quite a large lake, and the green surrounded by grandstands. It's a wonderful amphitheatre effect for the final hole, so you try and stay on the top and then knock it on and make your 2 putts to win, or in fact the year before last Harrington won with a birdie, magnificent 15-foot birdie. So it's just a great final hole.
So the club that has played host to many of Europe's and Asia's biggest tour stars once again opens its gates in early December.
All the players, not only Asian Tour but European Tour players, not only enjoy coming to Hong Kong, but also really to Royal Hong Kong Golf Club here. And I think with the renewed sponsorship of UBS for the next 4 years, will really take this tournament to the top of the Asian and European golf.
And with the Asian Tour soon coming to year's end, the UBS Hong Kong Open looms as a pivotal moment in the battle for the Asian Order of Merit. So while Miguel Angel Jimenez and Scotland's Colin Montgomery may prove the biggest crowd favourites, keep an eye out for the Asian Tour leaders, Thawon Grunchant and Thongchai Jaidi, as they seek to make the Asian Order of Merit their own title for 2005.